Now that we have identified the ingredients that are used in the soap making process, we would like to talk about the tools, because the ingredients are not going to mix themselves, but they will need some implements that are going to be used so that you can protect yourself and be able to do it effectively. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the soap mold that is going to be used to produce preferred shapes. I'm just going to show you the pictures of these objects in the next slides. You also need safety gear like gloves, goggles and long sleeves, just to protect you in the process, because a lot of fumes and a lot of smoke and heat is generated, and it might end up hurting you if you do not have protective equipment. You also need the thermometer. Thermometers are going to be needed in order to measure the temperatures, because the right temperatures are important to ensure that the mixture makes a perfect bond. So if the mixture is too hot or too cold, the lye might end up not mixing well or blending well with the essential oils, and you can find the oils floating above the lye, and that is not going to make a perfect soap. You also need a scale in order to measure the ingredients that you're going to use. You are going to see that there are certain proportions that you have to adhere to in order to make sure that the mixture makes a perfect bond. You also need a stick blender in order to continue, because there's quite a lot of rigorous mixing that needs to be done in order for these chemicals to bind together. You also need a heat resistant container. I'm going to show you what that looks like, because the lye when mixed with water produces quite a lot of heat, and that heat might end up damaging the container if the container is not heat resistant. You also need a stainless steel or plastic container. This is also used in the mixing process, or a spoon or a spatula, or even a stick blender. Okay, I've already mentioned the stick blender up there. Thank you very much. So here are the pictures of the objects that we're talking about. Let me just see if I can find them here. Okay, first up we're going to talk about the soap mold. Here is what it looks like. We use a normal crate that we use for making ice blocks, or you can also put it in an open pan, and you can cut using a normal knife, or you can also find a certain mold that you can design according to your own preferences, so that you can make the soap of your own desired shape. Here is a scale that we use in order to measure the ingredients, especially if you are going to measure one part of one thing and mix it with two parts of another. Then you have to make sure that you use this scale in order to make sure that the first part is going to be at 1, and then the two parts that you are going to mix are going to be at number 2, and then you will know that the proportions, the ingredients rather, that you are using in the mixture have been provided in the correct proportions. After the scale, we are going to talk about the stick blender. It can be a spoon, it can be a spatula, or that wooden stick that you are seeing there is going to be used in mixing all the ingredients so that they can end up combining into one final product. After this, we talked about a heat resistant container, or something made out of stainless steel. Any pot of this nature can also do the job as well. We talked about safety goggles. These ones are there to protect your eyes, because anytime some explosion can happen there, it can go directly into your eyes if you are looking directly above the pot. And then we also talked about safety gloves to help you so that you don't burn your hands, and the thermometer to ensure that the right temperatures are maintained. Otherwise, if the mixture is too hot or too cold, you are not going to come up with the right kind of soap that is going to serve your purpose. So thank you very much. After this, we're going to talk about the instructions on how best we can prepare the workspace that we're going to be using. See me in the next